Good day, everybody. This is John Scarborough and Savannah Scarborough. We're out here with the pigs today. We've been pretty busy. We've had a lot of work lately, so I haven't put out just a whole bunch of videos here lately. But I thought I'd give y'all a good update today on the pigs, how they're doing, what we're doing with them, and kind of what we're doing today. So Savannah, let's talk about what we're doing today.
We are putting out a winter seed mix in the pig's pen and behind the pen. We got it. It's just a deer, like a deer plot mix, so it has a little bit of everything in it.
So it's just like a clover, it's peas, it's wheat, oats, a couple different things.
Probably either radishes or turnips. I
think it's a radish, if I remember right. It may be radish and turnip, but it's a good winter crop. But everything that's in there except for maybe the clover really needs to be disc in, like you need to disc up your dirt and then disc it in about a 1/2 inch deep. That's kind of the way that needs to be. So we're using the pigs as our plow. We're gonna get them to disc it up and turn it over and try to knock it in there. So we spread it out to about the right amount. I'm kind of eyeballing it. But I looked up how much it needed to be. I've spread these types of seeds before and I kind of know what it looks like on the ground. That's a little thin. I would add just a little bit more than that. But that's pretty close to right. And we're just spreading it by hand, just kind of spreading it out, tossing it out, slinging it out by hand, whatever. And right now we are feeding the pigs. We're feeding them enough to last them for 1.5 days, which is why we don't have their big feeder in here, because sometimes we just feed them. We keep feed to them. But right now we're giving them enough to last them for about 1.5 days, and then letting them go about another 1.5 days without feed. And that way they can harvest their own food in there. You don't have to do that. It's something we're doing in order to get them tilling the dirt faster. That we haven't been doing that along there the whole way. We just started doing that here recently. But here, this is one plot that I did. This is a stump they dug up. If y'all can look at that real quick. This is an old stump. I don't know if it was a cedar or what it was for it to still be there. It doesn't look like cedar. I'm not sure what it is. But it's an old stump they went ahead and dug out of there, so that's kind of nice. But they dug all of that back pretty good. They had already dug it up for 1 day, and then I tossed all my seed out and spread it out, let them cover it up again. This is another one that we did where they had dug it up first and then we tossed the seed over top. I don't know if it's going to do as well, but we're going to see. That's the nice thing about having such small areas here. This is a 16 by 8 pen. Such small plots, it gives you a chance to really experiment a lot and see what really works well. You know, we experiment a lot here. When you experiment, you're going to have some fails. That's possible. That's what's going on here. We don't know yet. I don't see anything growing here. I don't see anything growing there. We do see seeds growing here. Everything back is a different thing that we did. Everything back, we were moving them about every 5 days, and we were planting a different type of seed. We planted pak choi and not radish. What was it, Savannah? Turnips. It was pak choi and turnips that we planted. Now, I have not seen any turnips come up. We did one right here where we did sunflower and peas, and it was actually a sprouted sunflower and seed, and we tossed it right on the ground. And that is a seed that is not supposed to come up on its own when you throw it right on the ground. Both of these. You're not supposed to be able to throw peas or sunflower on the ground and them grow. But because they were sprouted, we pre-sprouted them, they were able to grow. Now, I've done a couple videos on that in the past. I've had good luck, but I haven't had significantly good luck. So it's not something I would highly suggest doing. It is something I would suggest maybe playing with, considering playing with in a certain place. But I wouldn't say just go out and invest thousands of dollars and try that with my own personal experience. We did this in this small area because Savannah had already had the seeds soaked, and the seeds they were going to go bad or something. What was it?
soaked them for too long, didn't get them planted.
Yeah.
Micros.
So they were for microgreens. We went ahead and did it. So I mean, and you can tell it's not highly productive even right now. So it is something to maybe keep in your toolbox. It's not necessarily something I can say is fully proven for me. But it is something interesting. But you can see as we go back, there's a couple different places we tried out different lengths of time where we tilled it, and some of them we tried throwing the seed on before they started digging it up. Some of them we threw them on after. Most of them were after.
And I will say this one right here was when you were gone, and it was very sandy. See, this spot right here was very
This
sandy.
spot that's not growing real well.
And so I didn't leave them here as long because it was so sandy.
Did you put the seed on before or after? After. Okay. That's one reason, guys, I haven't put a lot of videos out. I've actually been doing a lot of welding work lately, and Savannah's actually been doing a pretty good job taking care of, well, I say a pretty good. It's been a very good job taking care of the farm without me. But, so you put the seed on after then?
Yeah, but I didn't leave them here. They
didn't till it up a lot.
As much because there wasn't any greenery.
Right.
This huge spot here was just sand.
Right.
So they didn't do it. I just went ahead and moved them because.
Well, and you have to play it by ear too, because it depends on how much it rains. If you get a lot of rain, they're going to tear up the ground a lot quicker, and you're going to have to move them faster. So it depends on what you are hoping to get out of it. But you can see as we go back, the plants do seem to germinate better. Some of these places, you know, it just there's different things that different factors that seem to be involved. I will say the first two there were started to get a good head start while we still had a lot of warm weather. Pak Choi is kind of a crop. I think it comes to seed a lot during the heat. But whether it's a summer or a winter crop, I'm actually not sure. So you guys in the comments, you know, if y'all know, put that in there. Pak Choi is something I haven't grown for production. I have experience with it because we have thrown a lot of it out for micros. We've thrown out the micro seed once we were done growing the micros, and we harvested them and sold the microgreens. We threw out the remainder to our chickens, and Pak Choi is one of the best ones that seem to regrow. It seems to have a 9 to 11 month growing season. I mean, it just seems to hold up very well in the heat or cool weather. But if anybody else knows about it, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear more about it.
And it looks like the rabbits really like it too.
The rabbits and possibly some deer too. So, but we're not worried about that.
Yeah. I mean, this has been eaten on.
Yeah. Yep. Now we've actually considered with this putting a chicken tractor on there and coming forward with a chicken tractor and letting your chickens graze. But here with our Pak Choi, since I've had so much good luck out of Pak Choi, I have done enough research to know that Pak Choi is not bad for my cattle. With my research, if y'all know something different, definitely please let me know that. And I've also, I mean, our cattle have eaten Pak Choi as well. So I am wanting to let this stuff come to seed. Not necessarily this thick, but I am wanting to let it come to seed. But I am really excited about the fact that, don't pick that seed. I am really excited about being able to just throw this seed right on the ground and it growing up. Now, like I said, it's just the Pak Choi. Isn't that all you're seeing here, Savannah? I'm not seeing any. It's not radish. My head, turnip. My brain keeps forgetting what it is. I'm not seeing any turnips, but that may happen as it gets cooler. We'll see. But there are turnips in there, I think. So we'll see what happens when they till them in too, because this has been thrown directly on top of the soil. So that's what we're trying to do, is we're really trying to understand, are these, are there seeds that we're able to throw directly on the ground using pigs? Are we able to let the pigs till the seed in? Because now that I remember, I'm actually remembering it. Right in here somewhere, I think it was right there, we actually let the pigs till the seed in. Whereas these two were not tilled in. So this is still growing pretty good, but I do remember it was held back quite a bit. It didn't come up for a long time, and I think that's because they tilled it down too deep. So this pak choi seed seems to do pretty well, even thrown right on top of the ground. And you could do that even with a disc. You know, you could disc it up and then broadcast it straight down. So if y'all haven't seen pak choi is a pretty interesting plant. It's actually really good. It's a really good lettuce alternative for humans. It's one of my favorite greens is a pak choi. And I'll probably actually harvest a decent amount of this and bring it up to the house and eat a pretty good bit of it ourselves. But it's not costing very much because, I mean, you're just broadcasting small amounts. So we're just going to see how all that works. We like to keep, you know, different types of seeds throughout, you know, just to play with it, just to play with different stuff. But we're hoping one day to be able to plant seed in front of chicken tractors to really cut down the cost of chicken feed. And we're really hoping that we can do that pretty soon and get pretty good luck. But there's a lot of variabilities there, so it's tough to know. But this keeps your tractor off your soil. This makes it to where you got your pigs on your soil. Now I will say this: the pigs, the different amount of times that you move them, like right here, you can tell they're making holes, okay? Especially right in here. This was a rainy day. This one was a rainy day. This one was not a rainy day. So you can tell the difference in holes when it's a rainy day versus when it's not. And I say it was a rainy day, I mean it was rainy time, because this was like 5 days and that one was like 5 days. It was only after we moved up to here that we started moving them every day, every other day. But the moving them every day or every other day does seem to prevent a lot of holes. Now, why am I doing this in my pasture? Well, because this pasture is clear cut, this section down in here. This is nothing but holes and just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it's not even the best grass out in here. So it's not bothering me to put it out here. They're definitely not making it worse. Some of the places they've actually made better, not entirely. But it gives me an idea. I mean, you can see here there's still an old stump right there. When I come back, they'll probably dig this old stump out, just like they did that other one. But this right here, this is one of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this, is to clean a lot of this up. This, I don't remember the actual name for this, but this is an evergreen plant. It is wonderful for deer. So if you're trying to attract deer, I would definitely not suggest getting rid of it. And if you're trying to feed a lot of sheep, I would definitely not suggest trying to get rid of it. But what I'm trying to do is knock down on it out in the open here, out in the pastures here. I don't necessarily care if it's on the creeks too much, because it is an evergreen plant that can help. I'm trying to see if I can find some. Here's a nice green leaf of it right here. But what's nice about these is these have a large rhizome root inside that not only can you feed your sheep and deer with that, your browsers, even during the wintertime, but the large rhizome root is what the pigs are going after. So we're using these pigs coming along here to dig that rhizome up and actually kill off some of that, to control some of that. And that's what's nice about pigs, is pigs have the ability to actually dig that rhizome up. That's why it's so hard to get rid of bamboo, because all the root underneath isn't killed off. But you can kill off bamboo with pigs, and we've actually done some of that. Made some videos on it. Y'all need to go back and check out some of our videos on bamboo control. We got several different videos talking about that. But anyway, guys, we're going to sign off here. I just wanted to show you all this. Like I said, we are moving them pretty much every day now. We're just basically, you can't know for sure. Right now, it's just as soon as they've stirred the ground, as soon as they've stirred every part of that ground, and we know that seed is covered, we're going to move them forward. And we're going to do that for the next couple days, see how well it works, and see how well all the rest of this grows. But we've got all sorts of different experimental paths all through there. So we're gonna do another video later, probably early spring or maybe even summer, and we're going to go over what really seems to work really well and what doesn't. But we're also going to have several update videos talking a lot about this. Now, we could be growing these pigs a little bit faster if we were feeding them more often. It's not that much work, so we're not that worried about it. But we're choosing to use their work instead. By not feeding them quite as much, they're turning over faster. So if we were giving them free choice, they would still turn over every bit of this, but they wouldn't turn it over quite as fast. But since we're not feeding them a lot of feed, we're just feeding them enough feed, they are going after and digging up and turning over much, much faster. But that also helps their diet. It also helps the flavor of the meat too, you know, because there's going to be, you know, 50% acorns and everything else, you know, that they're feeding off of. So that's going to be really good too. But that's the main thing that we're going for, is a fast turnover right now. So, all right, guys, I think we're going to sign off. We just wanted to touch on this. I think we've touched on this water before. If we haven't, we're going to show you that right now. We're about to switch to an actual water tank. We're just using this for now, but this works really, really well. Really good. I mean, it's a 100-foot hose. I've showed this right here. This watering nipple, we just got it threaded right in. Got a video talking about that, but this works excellent. I mean, we just leave this, move this probably, what, how often are we moving that right there? Every 20, 30 days?
We've only moved it
We've moved it once. Yeah. So
and we put August 29th is when we put them out here.
well, yeah, so do the math on that, guys. August 29th, and it is, right now it's November 12th. Yeah, November 12th, and it was August 29th when we started the pigs out here. So that was before we started moving them every day. Now that we're moving them every day, we'll definitely start moving them around more, and we'll probably move that more often. But you really don't have to move them every day. Once a week would be fine if we were, or at least once every 5 days, if we were feeding them constantly. So it kind of just depends on what you're wanting, how deep you're wanting them to turn over that dirt. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that you can pull off with pigs if you're wanting to go that route. So I would definitely look into that for sure. We're gonna have just a normal tank. We're not gonna be using our pressure washer. That's an expensive pressure washer to be using as a tank. But it does come in handy. We've used that as an emergency water tank several times. So it does come in handy, and that is why we kind of hooked it up with this whole quick connect valve here. Quick connect hookup. Works pretty good. You can buy all that stuff at Tractor Supply. Probably buy it on Amazon too. All right, guys. Let me not forget to turn that water back on. Okay, guys. I think we're going to sign off. Y'all don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way you know when I'm posting a new video.